everybody. Welcome to Rolling on Three, the podcast for all three wheelers owners. Anything you're rolling on three wheels, whether it be a Striker, Spider, Can Am, Slingshot, or whatever you have that's rolling on three right now. Today I got my boy Antwan from out of Indiana,
Sir.
from his riding club Indy 3. I'd like to welcome Antwan to the show.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, Keith. Certainly a pleasure.
Thank you very much. I start the show with the same question. What are you rolling on?
So, man, I got a 2015 Can Am Spyder RSS. Absolutely love it. Blue and orange, limited edition. Love it.
That's nice. So where did you get it? When did you get it? Tell me how that came about.
Okay, so I actually got my bike in 2015. It was actually kind of towards the beginning of the riding season. I think I got it in like February. I'm in Indianapolis, and I went to Maximum Power Sports. It's still in Indiana. It's in Peru, Indiana, which is probably about 45 minutes to an hour away from where I'm at. Went up there and got it, man, and you know, I love that. I love that place, man. Maximum Power Sports, actually one of our sponsors, man. They are actually real good to us, and man, I go there for everything, man. Even though we got some local, Can-Am places, but I mean, the love and customer service, man, that they show was just amazing, man.
Well,
Amazing.
of course, you always got to stick with the people who treat you right, man. That's
Absolutely.
important. And if the place is treating you good, then that's where you got to stay. That's where you stay your job.
Absolutely.
No, that's
Absolutely.
perfect. That's great. That's great. So, would you drive riding a bike before a regular
Man, so
motorcycle?
so I had a two-wheel, man. I had a Katana. Uh,
Okay.
I got it from one of my frat brothers. I bought it from him. I think it had been dropped a few times. So it was a good starter bike, man. I reached out to
Okay.
him, said I was trying to learn how to ride. Got a little starter bike, man. I rode it probably for about a year. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was a little scared, starting off first time riding the bike. But I got out there, man. I rode a little bit, uh, and then end up selling it. And then,
Hmm.
I was gonna get something a little bit bigger. I think that was a 600 or 650. And I was gonna get something a little bigger. And then before I did, man, I ended up seeing the Spider, and took it on a little ride and was like, okay, okay, and there it was.
So you kind of like when you first saw the Spider, because the Spider came out what 2009 or something,
Hmm.
and you picked yours up in 2015. So you was already riding before. So I
Yeah,
see what you're saying. I it was kind of like the same thing for me. Like I was on two wheels, and then I saw the three wheels come out, and I was like, I wasn't really sure. Is that really a bike? I was going in and
exactly,
out. And
exactly.
I just shelved it for a long time and didn't think nothing of it until the Riker dropped, and then I was like, yeah. And the thing is, I didn't even test ride. I never rode a three wheeler before.
Wow, wow,
Just when
okay.
I saw it, I was like, yeah, it's interesting, but I wasn't really committed. And then when the Riker dropped, I was like, I don't care how it is. This thing looks too
Right,
cool. I'm gonna
right.
run out and get it.
And I
But
and I and
I
I was kind of the same way, man. Like I said, I went up to Maximum, man, and I looked around. I had looked at them online, here and there, but I went up there and they let me sit on it. And I said, I don't know. And they said, we'll do whatever you can. I mean, they said, we'll do whatever we can, whether it's finance, whatever you need, we're going to make sure whatever price you want, walking out the door with it. And sure enough, man, I brought a trailer up, put it on the trailer, pulled up in the driveway, man. And actually, my wife ended up riding it before I rode it. She rode it up and down the street because I was still a little scared. I ain't even gonna lie. She rode it up and down the street. So finally, I was like, okay, yeah, I can get on and ride it. And there it went.
You didn't ride it home, man. Your first,
No,
the
man,
first toy, man. You didn't ride it.
not at all. Not at all.
Oh man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So it was just like the three-wheel thing, just like it just jumped at you. That's why you just
Yeah, it
yeah.
really did, man. And I like, I like being new, man, and spontaneous. And the truth of the matter is, I ain't seen none of them in Indy, like nowhere in Indy. And I was like, you know what? I started seeing them in like Florida and places like that.
Right.
I just didn't see them anywhere here. And I jumped on one. As a matter of fact, like I said, I got mine in 2015, and I still didn't see anybody till, man, probably like 17,
Wow.
18, really.
Wow. I was gonna ask you about that too. Like, how is the riding community out there? Do you see a lot of three wheelers? Obviously. from then till now? Is it big or how is it? Just tell me
Well,
what.
now it's real big. I mean,
Okay.
it's probably. I mean, man, honestly, we probably knocking on the door to two wheels. Honestly,
Mm,
I mean, it's real big. But like I said, from 2015 probably till honestly this year, like it wasn't really. I would see one every blue moon.
mm,
And then like all of a sudden this year, man, started really around like maybe March of this year. All of a sudden, it was everywhere you turn, you saw one.
right.
And
Okay.
majority Rikers. There still wasn't a whole lot of spiders,
Hmm.
but majority Rikers. But yeah, man, it's big now. It's real
Wow.
big.
Wow. So in your area, people are riding around cross states. Tell them about how it is riding and they're coming through Indiana if they're taking a long trip, like city, suburb, mountains, let the people know when they're
Okay.
driving. Hmm.
So we actually have. I mean, it's no mountains here, but we actually Midwest. But we actually got some nice riding paths, man. I mean, we got the city, and it's not overpopulated. I'm really from Georgia, so it's not
Okay.
like overpopulated per se, where you just sitting on a bike on the highway just sitting. So you can ride. We got some nice highways. We got you know they call us the Circle City because of the Indy 500. So we got a highway that
Hmm.
actually is a circle. So you can jump on that highway and feel like you on the Indy 500 track. But then outside of that, we got a lot of just like man, cornfields and that kind of thing too. So
Okay.
you can get some open roads, some nice curves, turns. So I mean, it's nice, man. It is. It's a lot of different nice, riding areas and different scenery. So it's good rides, man. It's good rides here.
Oh, that's cool, man. That sounds nice. How many miles you got? Or did
But I think I got like 7,000 on mine. I think I just hit 7,000.
all
Cause
right. So
like I said, when I first got it, I think when I first got it, man, I had 1 mile on it. And the truth of the matter is, honestly, I just put majority of those miles on it this year
really?
because before it wasn't a lot of ride. I mean, I would get up and ride, but it was kind of like, me and the wife would ride somewhere here, there to the store, what have you, back and forth, and I would ride back and forth to work, but I work close to my home, so it
Hmm.
wasn't really, I was putting a lot. But then this year, when the group jumped off, man, we rode, so
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not far from my job, and I was using it as a daily commute, so it wasn't like I was killing the miles. And I
right.
haven't really put some serious riding miles on it yet. Just like long trips. I've been taking a
Mhm.
little, hop back and forth, but nothing to put some serious miles. But you mentioned your club, INDY3s. Tell me how that came about, when it started. Give me the whole breakdown of what the idea that was. Let the people know where
Okay,
that came about. Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, I'll first say the disclaimer, we are not a motorcycle club.
Everybody does that.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
disclaimer. We are not a motorcycle club.
Riding club.
We just ride. We are a community of riders that like to ride.
Okay.
But man, how it started was, like I said, I got mine in 2015. Linked up with a few people around that time, a little bit after. We had like the East Side Goblin, Edward, and then Ron, and then Thrash. Some of the people that ride with us, and man, we
Hmm.
were ride, and it was kind of just us four, and we went to a couple events, that kind of thing. But earlier this year, around maybe July time frame, actually, no, it was a little bit before July. I would say maybe around the May time frame.
Hmm.
We were riding, and then we saw somebody on the circle. That's like our main meetup spot, is a
Okay.
circle in England.
All right.
We saw people on circle. We get their phone number. Oh man, you should ride with us. Add their number. The next day we see somebody else, add their number. So then it started off where it was like 30 different text message threads. So every time you check, it's like, man, every time you ask somebody, it's a new text message. It was like, okay, you know what? This is crazy. You know, so let's do the group meet. Well, then even with
Okay.
that, it was every day somebody new added, you know, we see somebody, hey, join the group meet, and then it was like, nah, this is too much. So man, in July,
Hmm.
um, me and G, we sat down and was like, man, you know what? I'm tired of changing text messages, tired of the group me like this. Let's just start a Facebook page. And
Okay.
literally, man, we started the Facebook page in July, and it started with about 10, 12 people. It's basically the people from the group me that
Okay.
came on the Facebook page. Man, by August, we was at like 150. Um,
Wow.
by September, we was at like 350. Like, I mean, it was crazy, man. We grew so big and so fast that it started
Really?
getting notoriety. Man, people
Mhm.
started like reaching out to me, like, "Hey, man, what are y'all doing?" You know, not necessarily in a negative way. I mean, like I said, that's when Maximum jumped on and was like, "Man, like y'all need a sponsor. Like, I'll sponsor y'all." Got a call from a Can Am rep that was like, "Yo, you know, y'all doing it big, and how do we be a part?" I mean, you know, we had shops calling us. I mean, mechanics calling us. I mean, it just grew big. I mean, then yeah, we had the motorcycle clubs calling too, like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you know, what's up?" But man, it just grew so big, man, and that's really how we started, man. And then it was just like a, you know, Facebook message, "Hey, we're gonna meet up here. You know, who want to come?"
Right.
Um, we joined up, but then we actually did a formal ride, and we said, "Look, we want to actually have the first Can-Am, like, just three-wheel, like, gathering, if you will. Like, we want
Right.
everybody
A
from,
ride out.
you know."
Right.
Yeah. And so, man, that first one, we had about 70 bikes, man, and we took over the, I mean, we did, man. We took over the city, man. We rode from, it was this area called Broad Ripple. We rode from Broad Ripple. We all met up there, and I'll tell you a crazy story, though. I was
Mhm.
upset that day. So it was a Saturday, and man, we pulled up. Well, everybody was meeting up at a certain time at Broad. We was gonna ride down to the circle. It was probably
Mhm.
about a good 40-minute ride, you know, through the city to let everybody see us. Man, I woke up that morning, went out to the garage. My bike wouldn't even start.
Oh man.
Man, I was hurt, man. I was hurt. I was like, you know what?
Oh.
I don't even want to. I mean, I tried to jump it. I tried to do everything, and I was just
Oh.
mad. I was like, man, I don't even want to go. Like, you know, and I'm like, man, I ain't gonna do that. So I jumped in the car, man. I still went. You know, I felt a little hurt when I got there. I'm seeing all the bikes, man. I'm sitting there like, man, like I can't even, you know. But it was a good time, man. And crazy thing, as soon as I got back home and cranked it up, it came right on.
Oh man, maybe it
Right.
just wasn't meant for you to ride that day.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Man, that's
Exactly.
crazy. So that was the first big one though.
That was the first big one, man. And then after that, man, you know, we started having a lot of other people join, man. After that, they was just like, wow, like, you know, y'all coming deep like that, you know, I want to be a part. People start buying them, man. They start reaching out to us. Even the motorcycle shops would tell them to come holler at us. And
Wow.
next thing you know, man, my team or whatever, we sat down and we was like, man, we should actually do like a three-wheel roundup. Like, you know,
Okay.
I know the two wheels do it. You know, you got the Myrtle Beaches and the Daytons and that kind of thing. We was like, man, let's make Indiana be that place. Let's do it. And man, start posting flyers, man, putting it out. And man, we had crew from St. Louis, and if you hadn't talked to them, I'll give you their contact too. It might be a good person to talk to as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, of course. Send it my
Uh,
way. Mhm.
Michelle Buckley. She's over the Diva Riders. They're out of St.
Mhm.
Louis,
Okay.
a female group, but they came down from St. Louis and stayed the night. We had people come all the way up from Tennessee, which is about
Mm.
4 or 5 hours away, come up. We
Mm.
had pretty much everybody from Indiana come up. We had
Right.
Chicago come down.
Mhm.
And I know you had Scat on the show
Yeah, yeah.
a month or so ago.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my guy, man. Yeah, me and Scat, we connected, and so you know they came down. So man, it was just big, man. We had people from all over come down, man. We had vendors, uh, we had t-shirt sales, we had food trucks out, and then we man just had a big event, man, and we rode out, and then just party, man, and it was a good times, good times.
That sounds nice, man. I like to hear that when people get together and bring those Can-Ams and make
Oh
them
yeah,
big, because that's my whole thing. That's the reason why I started doing what I'm doing, because I reached out and when I started my show, I looked around. I said, "Man, is there a Can-Am podcast so I could hear about how people are doing it in other states, making this thing big?" And there was nobody out there talking about it. I was
right,
like,
right.
I said, let me search a little harder. Maybe there's somebody out there. And then I looked and found. I said, that's crazy. I said, how can no one be out there trying to? Because if I could link up and everybody could hear how it is to ride in all these states, man, we could do something huge.
Absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely.
from all the states meet up, something
Yeah,
big. So that's why
yeah.
I'm trying to put the community out here and show other people, look, man, you could ride your Can-Am down in Indiana. You got a big crew down there, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the
And
whole presence behind my show. Yeah.
yeah, and you doing your thing, man, and I appreciate it because that was kind of my vision, man. I'm like, man, you're like, yeah, I'm all for the two wheel roundups. I mean, I rode a two
Of
wheel. I'm
course,
not
of
hating
course,
on,
yeah.
but I'm like, yeah, we need to have a big three wheel just gathering as well, like, and where we taking over somebody's city for the weekend, and
Right.
so yeah, I'm with you, man. When you get it together, let me know. We'll definitely be there.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying nothing bad about the two wheeler. I was a two wheeler for many years. Those are
Yes,
still my
sir.
peoples.
Yes, sir.
And
Absolutely.
when we meet out at the ride outs that we do out here, you know, they always come through heavy. So
Yeah.
it's all love.
Likewise.
It's all love. So yeah,
Yep.
no problem
Likewise.
with that. But one thing I wanted to go back to, you said something called the circle. So if people are coming out and don't know what the circle is, give them a little breakdown in case they visiting, they want to pull up.
Okay.
That's where the bikes hang out. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So basically, the circle is the midpoint in Indiana. Like I said, they call it the Circle City. So that's
Okay.
actually the middle of Indiana. I mean, Indianapolis rather. And so it's basically the monument. The real name is like the Monument Circle. It's a real big kind of memorial statue there, and it's just the middle, and you can hit all sides of town. All sides of town lead up to the middle of the circle. And so
Ah,
that's where the bikes come out and hang out, mostly like Friday nights, Saturday nights, um, even Sunday. Well, Sunday nights they'd be at like a Riverside. It's a park. So we got different pockets, but the main spot, yeah, is a circle.
all right, cool. That's for now. Everybody know what's up. If you're traveling through there, look for the
Hit,
circle, right?
hit the circle. There you go.
The How's the riding season? Like out here, our riding season's pretty much done. We're hitting the cold, we're hitting the rain. So when does yours go down?
So, man, a lot of people honestly start putting their bike up last month. Uh,
Okay.
now, the riders that have been riding for a minute, like right now it's sunny out. I don't know if you can see from it's sunny.
Yeah,
It's
I
a little
got you.
cold. I'm sitting in the ride. It's a little cold, but it's sunny. So the real
Okay.
riders, they still putting on they gear and
Hmm.
they still rolling a little bit. Now,
Okay.
I'm originally from Georgia, so I'm kind of cold. So I ain't, I'm yeah, I'm good. Uh, but man, really around March time frame, you see them started coming out, and typically around October, October time frame, they really started to get put up. We actually
Okay.
had a good, I mean, we had a good one this time because, I mean, November was actually great.
Yeah,
A lot.
November was
So
good out
we
here
still have
too.
people riding. Yeah, like I said, now we saw our first snow last
Mm.
week, and yeah, it's cold now, so I don't see too many of them out now.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I got a number, and then when it's below 50, that's it. Man. I wrap that bad boy up and say, you know what? See you next
There
season.
you go. There you go.
I'm not built for it. Maybe when I was younger, but now I'm like, oh man, nah,
Yeah.
I can't do it. But God bless them guys that get out there in the cold, man,
Yes,
and
indeed.
ride. But it's a different feeling, though. I think it's probably better on three wheels in the cold than two wheels. I don't know, but I
Yeah,
haven't really
I would
tried
say
it.
so.
I haven't really tried it, like did a comparison, like in the
Okay.
weather wise, but I think the three wheel is a little bit better because I don't know. It's the heat coming up from the bike
Yeah.
is a little different.
Yeah. I agree. I would agree. I would agree. Yeah, I never rode cold in two wheels, so but yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So I was doing some research on you and came across this thing called Uplift.
Yes.
Yeah, break that down for the people who are just listening to the show and not watching.
Okay. So yeah, so I do a whole lot, man, and
Hmm.
I started Uplift. It's a nonprofit organization with the mission to help young people. It doesn't matter, the race, gender. It's just to help
Hmm.
young people, man. I grew up, man, and I wasn't real bad, but I was kind of bad. But it took somebody closer to my age
Hmm.
to pull me to the side. When I was younger, man, listening to the 60-year-olds when I was 13 and 14,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
it just
don't
wasn't doing it. It
want.
took somebody to snatch me up. One of the men from the church that
Hmm.
said some choice words, snatched me up, got me on the right path. And you know, man, so I looked at it. We had hit a pocket, man, in Indy where crime had just spiked like crazy, man. And it was,
Mm,
you know, and I pay homage to those who were older, who were, you know, in the fight. But I
right.
looked around and was like, man, it wasn't nobody my age group in the fight. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm,
like, you know, I know that again, for me, it took somebody closer to me to relate to me. So, man, I reached out to a group of man, preachers and pastors, man, that were
mm,
close to my age group, and was just like, you know, we need to join the fight. You know what I mean?
okay.
They'll listen to us. We can talk their language. We're not so far removed that we don't know what's going on.
Right.
Well, man, I started Uplift, man, and you know, of course, like anything, we had, you know, people leave, people not catch the vision, so forth and so on. And man, so I had started it for about a year, man, and we were doing some big things, but it wasn't really hitting the way I really envisioned it, man.
Okay.
And then it was like after that year, man, some new people came on board. My wife, mother-in-law, some other family members, man, and it, man, and Uplift, man, it just took off, man, to the point where it actually propelled. Not, and this I give it all to God first, man. I don't want to put me on the pedestal, but
Okay.
it propelled myself in such a way where, man, it opened the door for so many other things, man.
Really?
So we do a Martin Luther King Day, and that was crazy, man. We were in India, and I was like, at the time, I was like, there wasn't really any Martin Luther King Day events. I'm like, how are there
Wow.
no Martin Luther King Day events? So we started doing the Martin Luther King Day event. We started doing a community expo
Uh-huh.
where my whole thing is about supporting other people, man. I like support. And I think one of the biggest problems in the world is that until we can support each other, I'm getting off a lot philosophical on you, but
Do what you
you
gotta do, man. People want to hear it, man. Tell them what you
yeah,
got going
appreciate
on,
it.
man. This makes
You
it
know,
personal, and people could reach out. So
yeah,
just do what you
much
got to say.
appreciated. You know, but I said, you know, until we start supporting each other, the world won't change. I mean, because it's all about what I can do, how I get mine. You know, I'm doing it this way. Like one of the biggest things that bothers me is if somebody already has something going on, why start over and reinvent the wheel? Why not join them and help them? Why not bring your resources to the table, what they doing? But you got so many people that's caught up on I gotta be the leader, which I faced, man. When I started Uplift, man, I had
Right.
people ask me, well, who's gonna be the leader? Oh, this is gonna get us on TV. Oh, this is gonna get some of us to have churches, or you know, who how much money are we gonna bring in? I'm like, man, that ain't even what it's about. Like,
Well,
I genuinely want to help
your
people.
agenda was
Yeah,
different. Yeah,
absolutely.
but that's what you run into anytime you want to bring something to the forefront,
Absolutely.
whether it's a motorcycle riding club or just helping out your community. You got to weed through that type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, man. So we do a community event. And we go to parks and clean up parks. And it was the whole thing, man. I went to the inner city and was like, you know, y'all think about it. They're not coming out here to rebuild your parks because you tear the parks down. So maybe if you clean up your park, you paint your park, you plant flowers in your park, then all of a sudden you'll realize the worth of your own park. And so we
Mhm.
started doing that, man. Then we do a youth expo where I bring in professional athletes, um, different speakers, man. I had the cops come in and just show people, this is how you respond when you get pulled over by a cop. It ain't, I get the tension and all that's going on, but it's a lot of stuff that we can do also that could defuse some of the situation. And so different things like that, man. But then that parallel to, man, my mentoring program. So all this is up under the umbrella of Uplift. So
Okay.
I started my mentoring program. I got one for boys, which is called Uplift Goals,
Hmm.
which is gentlemen overcoming and achieving life situations. And basically, we go back to the basics. What does it mean to be a gentleman? And I always refer to that scene in Boys in the Hood where they were at the table getting ready to eat, and all the the men rushed the table. I'm like,
Right, right, right. Yeah, I remember
you
that
know,
scene. Yeah.
yeah, we got to go back to the basics of what does it mean to be a gentleman. You have to represent yourself in such a way where now you can go out here and talk to people. So then I also have a girls, one called Pearls, preparing, equipping, and affirming respectful ladies for success. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
get in a position where you don't have to show your body parts or be somebody that your mama didn't raise you to be to go get what you want. You know, I mean, people see more on the inside of you, but you got to be able to pull it out.
Mm.
Man, so I got the mentoring programs, man. So, and I'm in schools, man. I go speak at from grade schools to the collegiate level,
Okay.
to even businesses. Man, that kind of spawned, and I know I'm giving you a lot, but that even spawned to me writing books, man. So, I got a book about to drop this month called Faith and Fairy. And basically, I do a lot of when I speak, man, and I give you my favorite one. I got it tatted on me too. But my favorite scripture is to whom much is given, much is required.
Mhm.
And I do a lot of speaking, and I speak in illustrations. And so one of my biggest ones is talking about the three little pigs. And again, from the grade school level to the collegiate level, everybody can understand it. It's, sometimes you got to work harder than everybody else.
Yeah, that's a
You know,
fact. That,
while
yeah,
while Johnny is outside playing basketball or shooting the breeze on the corner, yeah, you might have to stay after school. You might have to, be in there getting uh, extra training or extra tutorial, whatever, what have you. But at the end of the day,
I
they're
see
gonna
what you're
come
saying.
knocking on your door. You know what I
E-
mean?
Everybody's path is different, and you can't look at one person's path and expect that to be yours. I get it.
Absolutely.
Are you
So
gonna
yeah.
bring that whole thing around to the club, to the motorcycle club? So,
So man, so I actually, man, I have, man, the envisionment, man, was to one. So we do birthday rides. Like I want it to be community based, man. Like I don't want to
okay,
just ride just for the sake of ride. So like we even, man, ride around for birthdays. Like if it's a little kid, I think we've done like six. Kids having birthdays. We'll show up, man, and all the bikes arrive. We'll let them sit
that's
on the
nice.
bikes, take
That's
pictures of
nice.
the
Yeah.
bikes. And that's moments where they're like, wow, we've done. We did during Halloween. We did a candy giveaway. All the bikes
Okay.
pulled up. We dressed up and let the kids come out. They got candy. We're able to take pictures on the bikes. We had one rider who had hurt, was in the accident, so we
Hmm.
showed up, man, and rode for her. And so, man, it's all trying to be community based, man. And again, that's why I don't want to do really the motorcycle club per se as of right now,
Right.
because again, I want it to be community based, man. We
No,
we
I
doing
understand that.
some
I,
basket giveaways, some turkey giveaway. I mean, that kind of stuff. And it's just again, man, trying to uplift people and build people. So yeah, man, I'm trying to bring it all together, man.
nah, man, sound like you're doing a good job, and you sound like you got a lot on your plate right
I
now,
do,
man.
man. I do
Yeah,
a whole lot, brother, a
trying to
whole
do
lot.
all that and ride a bike, run a club, and all of that. I mean, man,
Yeah,
busy dude. But hey, man, sounds totally positive what you're doing, especially for the youth and
yes.
what's going on in these times. And crime is at it's going out insane. It's getting a little rough out here in New York City. We're starting to see
Wow.
lot increase in crime that we never seen before, and it's
Likewise,
just
likewise.
and it's good that somebody's trying to reach out to the youth
Yeah.
and incorporate these good things, because I'm quite sure when these young kids see all those 300-400 bikes going by, they're like, man, how do I get one?
How
and
do I get one?
and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
good that you are reaching out to these young boys and saying, look, this is how I did it, and
Absolutely.
yours can
Absolutely.
come if you follow this right path there. But nah, I appreciate what you're doing, man. That sounds really, really positive, man. And
I
I'm quite
appreciate
sure
it.
the people out there like to hear some things like that. It's always good to have that good news all the
Yeah.
time, you know?
And I
You know?
and I tell you, bro, and I leave. I don't want to take too much time, but I even tell you this, man. One of the, you know, I am definitely a person, man, and I try to help people, man, as much as I can. My wife get on me sometimes. She was like, "You don't ever tell people no." And again, I told her, I said, to whom much is given, much is required, man. But I do, man. I do a lot of public speaking, man. And the bike is my peace, man. The bike is my relaxation because I'm always on the go. I'm always doing
Before you
something.
tell me about that, I got one question for you, and it's
Yes, sir.
probably already just answered it, but I started a new segment on the show. You're gonna be the second person to ask the question.
Okay.
One sentence, describe your Can-Am feeling.
One sentence. Can and feeling. Peaceful.
All right.
Peaceful. Peaceful. I,
Uh,
I can't even do it in the sentence, man. It's just peaceful. That open wind. I I do, man. That open wind, and I heard you talking to. I heard your interview with Scat. Y'all was talking about the modifications, and you
Yeah.
was talking about the speakers, and I know he laughed. We talking about his speakers, man. So I got probably one of the. I don't want to make nobody mad, but I got probably one of the loudest bikes in Indy. Now I'll challenge anybody that want to challenge it.
Oh man, you hear that? I got the first challenge on the podcast.
And I'm okay to accept, failure if I lose. That just make me go get more. But man, I got 10 speakers on my bike, man. And
Man.
a subwoofer. And so, man, when I get on the open road, man, my music is banging. You can hear me coming. I pull up to my mom's house. She was like, "Yeah, I already knew the door was already open. I knew it was you. I heard you from coming around the corner." And but it's just that piece, man. I put on some Charlie Wilson, turn it up, and
I
I'm
hear
rolling.
you. I hear you, man. That's the way to do it, man. You know
So, yeah,
what?
man. So I'll put that challenge out, man. That look, I have to tell everybody, man, I'm that person, man. It gets me in trouble sometimes, but it motivates me. If somebody come up and they got 11 speakers, man, I'm gonna go get another one just because I can't be outdone. But now, man, I do that in life too, man. I got 6 college degrees, man, and
God bless you, bro. God bless you, man.
the kids always ask me, man, like, why you got so many degrees? That you just like school? I tell them, no, I didn't like school, but you'll never tell me I don't belong at the table. So if I'm at the table and you got 7, I'm gonna go get another one. So that's just my motivation, bro.
Nothing wrong with that, man. That's one thing they can never take from you, right? It's your
Absolutely,
education,
absolutely,
man.
absolutely.
Hey, listen, man. It was great. You've been a great guest, man. I mean, you said it all, man. All positive, nothing but love. I let people just promote what you got going on, just in case people ain't watching, because I am streaming. So
Okay.
say what you got going up. Talk about, your club. I mean, your uplift, where they could find you and all that stuff.
So you can find me, of course, all over social media. Antwan Hauser. You can from there you can go to everything else. Hauser, Houser. I got Antwan the Arthur page where it's talking about my books. I got my Uplift page. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. But if you type in my name, it'll come up. You can Google me. It'll come up. As far as the motorcycle group, it's off season. We got some stuff going on for Christmas and that kind of stuff. But you can find us on Facebook as well, INDY3s. We're on Instagram. We got a YouTube page. But if you need to email us, it's INDY3s, the word spelled out, threes, at gmail.com. So,
All right, so I'll be posting everything below. And as everybody knows, I'm Keith Hammer. This is my podcast, Rolling on Three. You can reach me now. It's gonna be on Twitter, Rolling on Three. You can reach me on Instagram because that's where everybody hits me up as the Shadow Black Riker. My YouTube channel, Rolling on Three. I just rebranded it, so I changed the name, but you can find me. Just type in Rolling on Three. You can find my whole podcast is streaming on every platform. There'll be support buttons down there for anybody who wants to support. You can check me out on Spotify, Google Cast, all that streaming. So, support the channel, support my man Antwan and everything he's got going on, man. Positive brother, good vibes, So, thanks everybody for watching, all right, and for listening.
much love.
Don't hang up. Okay, let me pause this real quick.